Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name's Amy. I participated in the Disney College program spring of 2019. So last year I was a merchandise cast member in Magic Kingdom on Main Street East, so that's the opposite side of the Emporium. Today me and my friends Bree and Ansley are answering a few of your DCP questions. I know we get lots of them asked all the time. I was merchandise cast member, Ansley was an attractions cast member, and Bree was a lifeguard. So we kind of have a wide variety of roles to kind of tell our story from. Obviously we're in quarantine, so we wanted to kind of put together all of our answers and try to answer the best we could while being away. So let's get started.
Hi everybody, my name's Ansley Davis and I was a Disney cast member for spring 2019. So I was a cast member at Splash Mountain in Magic Kingdom, so that's like the big log ride.
Hey everyone, I'm Brianna Johnson. I did the Disney College program with Amy and Ansley last year, and we're here to talk a little bit about that because that's probably the best character trait about me now. It's all people ask me about. A little bit about me. I'm currently 21. When I was in Orlando, I was 20. My role down there was a lifeguard at Pop Century Resort. I also worked at Art of Animation a bit, but just those two. I go to Auburn University in Alabama, and I'm majoring in exercise science with a minor in dance. So did the Disney College program for what they call Spring Advantage. So Amy and Ansley were there for just spring, like a spring school semester, and I was there for the spring semester and summer. So early February to beginning of August. So
Alright, so the first question is, how was the phone interview and was it scary? Honestly, I am not a huge fan of talking on the phone, so I thought it was a little bit scary. Everyone says this, but just answer truthfully and it's really not that bad. All of the recruiters are super nice. Maybe brush up on a few questions that you kind of know they're gonna ask, and then do the rest off, just wing the rest. I don't know. It's easier that way, just kind of speak from the heart.
I didn't say the phone interview was scary. Mine was about 20 minutes. It can be like 15 to 20 minutes. And I had a guy and he was like super happy. I mean, everybody's happy at Disney, or they act happy. Just kind of asked me like basic questions, like why I wanted to do the Disney College program, what I loved about Disney, and then he kind of asked you for like your preferences, so you can kind of rank like 3 different types of roles that you wanted. And I really just told him like attractions, merchandise, and then quick food service would be like my last. And I ended up getting attractions. And then that's when I also told him that Splash was my favorite ride, because as a little kid, it was the first big kid ride I ever remember going on. And I was super scared. So I asked one of the cast members like, hey, like what happens in this ride? And they were like, you know, there's several drops. There's like one big drop at the end. It's gonna be so fun. Like everyone loves it. And it just kind of relieved my fear. And I told him I wanted to be that person for somebody else, which I actually got to experience that like the last couple weeks I was there. So no, the phone interview was not scary. For me, I actually did it on my back porch.
So I just have really bad anxiety, and anything like that is scary to me, no matter if it's for Disney, it's for anything. So for me it was terrifying, but when it started it wasn't bad. My recruiter, his name was Todd, he was pretty cool. It was just like a one-on-one conversation with someone. It didn't seem too scary. I actually was sitting outside of my school's library in the dark because it was like 9:45, and I reserved a study room for just like one person. But when I got there, it didn't have a ceiling, so the whole library would have been able to hear me. So I like ran outside and sat on these steps. So it was really awkward, but I guess it was fine because they accepted me. I also got accepted really fast. There's 3 rounds of interviews, and I applied and then got accepted within a week and a half, which is very fast. Don't know why. It's very different for everyone, but it's just my experience with it.
How was your role? So like I said, I was merchandise and I really loved it, especially because I was able to pick up shifts in every location, aside from a few places because I wasn't alcohol and tobacco trained. I could pick up and give away shifts whenever I wanted for the most part, so it was pretty easy to trade. They no longer let you just give up shifts. So if you really needed a day off, it was pretty easy on my schedule to do that because I could just post it in the Walt Disney World merchandise Facebook page, whatever page it was. That we literally, there's thousands of Facebook pages, so I highly recommend finding those. But I could post and someone would trade me. I got to work in all 4 parks, even Blizzard Beach, so it was really fun because I got to meet a lot of people from different parts and kind of see what each park had to offer.
I kind of explained it a little bit. My role was very time consuming. I'm glad I wasn't taking classes because I ended up working like 35-40 hours a week every week. And the shifts really varied. I had some morning shifts and I had some shifts till 2 a.m. so it just depended. That was for like one of the cheer competitions. Overall I liked it though, and I liked our costumes because I like sweat a lot and we got to wear shorts, so it was super nice. And we were outside and inside and we had like a straw hat.
I could not have asked for better leaders. They honestly went above and beyond for anything that we needed. My leaders actually put on toolkit classes and they were so helpful. I got to meet the VP of Magic Kingdom. It was so amazing, all the things and the resources that they provided for us. I still keep in contact with them, friends with all of them on social media, everyone that I worked with.
My leaders were really good. I had 8 to 10 maybe. I didn't talk to them as much as like some of my other friends in the other roles did because they were kind of in a trailer out in the back. I mean, I talked to them a little bit, like if I needed specific requests and everything, but overall they're really good. I liked my coordinators is what it's called. It's kind of like a manager. I talked to them a lot more and went out to eat with them a couple times and stuff.
I didn't love my work environment, so that just sort of put a damper on it. My job is just extremely different than any other job at Disney, and my resort wasn't even very nice. But when I was at work, I didn't feel like I was at Disney. It felt like I was like in a operating room, or just like it was so high intensity. And then my leaders just I didn't love, and they're just sort of terrifying because I could have been audited at any point and tested at any point, and I was tested a lot and vatted, and I had to jump in the pool a lot. So I didn't love them.
Did working there ruin the magic? I get this question all the time. Honestly, no. Like, yes and no, but I kind of prepared for it, and it honestly just made me really happy that I was the one being able to make the magic for people, because I remember being little and looking up to all the cast members and thinking they were so cool. There's still lots of magic, don't worry.
Sometimes. It just depends. I mean, with everything you realize that it's real life, and you know, like, if people are, we're kind of putting on a show, sort of. Disney is a production, so I mean, are all those people genuinely happy every single day? No. But like, are you? No. So I mean, it's real life. There were times that I cried a couple times and was like, this is just kind of like not what I had envisioned it. But then I did like a reality check and was like, well, all these people are real and they have real lives, and comes down to it's a job, you know, but we do our best to like make the guests feel like it's magical. So I think overall they do a really great job of that, and they keep it consistent, and they kind of leave their life at the door most of the time. So I mean, not entirely, and I still want to go back to Disney.
I don't think so. I probably love Disney more now than I ever did, and I probably talk about it too much. It's probably embarrassing, but I mean, I know like all the facts and stuff, and like part of the magic of going to Disney is like who you go with. Like, that's why people go, because they spend time with their families. But now I don't only have family memories, I have memories with all these amazing people. I will continue to give Disney all my money for the rest of my life, and I would love to work there again in the future if it happens. So it definitely didn't ruin the magic for me. It probably made it more magical. One of my best friends, Casey, made a Bible study, and that's how we all met every Monday at 9 or 9:30, I think, and we sat in the hub grass, which is the area right in front of the castle, and we just have community and talk about Jesus and faith and stuff, which I was really scared going to Orlando because I know that's like not a huge place for that, and it's like not emphasized, so I was worried about just like losing that. It's just like a nice thing to do in the morning. Be with people, And usually if I had work later that day, I wouldn't really do anything in the morning because my job just stressed me out so much I couldn't do anything. But that would be one thing I would do even if I worked later that day, was be to go to Magic Kingdom in the morning. And, you know, sometimes we'd like eat food and go on rides afterwards.
How long were your shifts? So typically I had shifts from like 2 p.m. to like 10 p.m. Sometimes later. Working on Main Street in Magic Kingdom, we were the very, very last place to close. I didn't really mind them because I am more of a night owl than a morning person. Occasionally I would be scheduled in the morning, or I would switch with someone at my location for a morning shift. For the most part, I didn't work until super late at night, and then sometimes I'd get off like 2 in the morning, which was probably one of the latest days that we had.
I had shifts anywhere from 6 hours to 13 hours, so it really just depended, and I didn't have much of a say in it because you're kind of like the bottom of the totem pole, but I mean, as long as you're with your friends, it's fine. You bring like a good snack. I used to bring Chick-fil-A to work, and it made it a little bit better.
Shifts were very consistent since I worked at a resort and I was a lifeguard. Unlike a lot of other people, there were 2 shifts. It would be 8:30 to 8:15, so it'd be a really long day, which sucked, but then you only worked 3 days a week, so I actually liked that more, I think. Or during that time, some people would come later at like 9:15 or something, but still end at like 8. So it was a whole day, like you couldn't do anything else with your day. But then once the pool hours got longer, we had to break it up into different shifts. One shift, which was 8:30 to 4:30, and then 2 p.m. ones, which were either 4 to 10:30 or 4 to 11:30. And that would change depending on like what pool you would end at. So I had something called IST. Being a lifeguard, you have to have 4 hours of extra training each month on top of like the 2 weeks of training you have at the beginning. So that would be in 2-hour increments. So I'd have 2 of those each month, and those would just be added onto a shift. So some days I would work 2. I would have IST 2 to 4 and then work 4 to 11:30. So those were long days, or sometimes we had them at like 6:30 in the morning. Consistency with my job was nice.
How were your roommates? So whenever I did the college program, they had just changed it from you being able to link with all of your roommates to only being able to link with one other person. So my roommate Ashley and I linked with each other. We had a 1-bedroom in Chatham, and it was one of the most expensive ones, and kind of stunk because we did want to have other people living with us, but then it ended up being fine. Like, she was super awesome.
There were 6 of us total. We lived in the commons. You do your preferences kind of like you do your role preferences, and we ended up getting commons, and we got a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. No, it was 3-bedroom. Yeah, it was 3-bedroom, 3-bath. So it was really nice. The girl that I roomed with, she's from Delaware, but she went to the University of Alabama. She actually transferred. I met her before, so I drove to Tuscaloosa because I'm in Huntsville, so it's like, you know, an hour and 45 minutes. And I met her, made sure she wasn't like crazy, and she ended up being like one of my best friends, and I'm actually going to her birthday party next month at the beach in Anna Maria, so that'll be fun. We're pretty close, and I've seen her since the program also. And then the other girls, like, I'll still talk to, like, on Instagram and stuff. I mean, we were definitely not as close because me and Madison were roommates, so it was like we had 2 twin beds, kind of like freshman year. So yeah, overall I liked them.
Roommate I linked with, loved her. Olivia, I miss her all the time. I was in a 6-person, 3-room apartment in Patterson, which I really liked Patterson. But we did have 1 person from each room, like, term at some point. So it was just sort of interesting. Summer started, I got one of my roommates, and she was from Canada, and Claire, I love her. So it was fun to have her and have a Canadian. And then when my roommate ended up terming in the fall, I got another roommate in my room, and she was from like Scotland or somewhere in the UK, Kaylee, and she was really nice.
Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video today. I'm thinking about making another part to this just because when I was applying for the DCP, and honestly still now, like I like to go back and watch other people answering questions because there were so many questions that I just wanted to know the answer to before I got there. So thank you to Bree and Ansley for being in this video. Honestly, I'm so glad we were able to do this even though we're miles apart. Honestly, we're all in different states right now, so this is a little bit crazy to do, but it was a lot of fun, and hopefully we're all in the park sometime soon. Thank you guys all for watching this video. I have a bunch of vlogs on my channel from my college program if you guys want to check them out. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.
As always, if you guys have any questions, you can DM me at AnsleyDavis1, or according to Ansley's my Disney Instagram, so I've had posts about that. But thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much for listening. And Amy and Ansley, I miss you so much.